Good morning, everyone. Yes, I'm sitting outside. It's a little later and cold, but it's going to get warm again. Oh, and I slept like a baby last night. Again. When Sissy came home, she goes to work 2 days in a row and doesn't come home at night, sometimes 3. And she came home last night and we were sitting out here on the porch talking. Yes, isn't this great? March, about the middle of March, sitting on the porch in the evening, having a nice conversation. I love it. Of course, you see we got them rocking chairs, right? There's a couple of them out here, more in the house, right? Yeah, That's my father-in-law built. Yes, quite famous for it. He was. And when we got ready to go upstairs to bed, she says, "Hey, do you want to leave the door open?" I said, "Oh, yeah." Please. Yeah, the dogs don't look like they're ready to come in or anything. And just to leave them outside, I'm going, you know what? Leave the door open, right? Then they can come in and out. And I said, "I'm good with that." She's like, "Okay, me too." So we all went to bed. And sure enough, I said, if you can handle the barking that's going to go on, more or less incessantly, if they're all 3 of them out there. She says that barking doesn't bother me. I'm going, oh, okay. Yeah. You never know. Right? Sometimes people say something, but then when it actually starts to happen, yeah. But anyway, that's why I feel the best by myself here, right? Because I don't have to worry about anybody else in the house and what's going on that I'm perfectly comfortable with. Woke up this morning and, oh my gosh, looked at the clock. I'm going, oh my gosh, I missed her leaving for work and another job she has. I didn't even hear her. And what happened? I slept so good. I've noticed that with myself before. The best that I sleep is somewhere out in nature. With the door open. With things open. Right? Yes? Oh, so am I claustrophobic or something? Yeah, in a big house like that? I don't think so. That's not what it is. It reminded me of something. Most people, right, would be the other way around. Having the door open, the windows open. By the way, in the city, when we lived in the city for 18 years, our back door was more open than not, even at night. Okay? Yeah, not the front door. But the back door. The front door was never locked. Yeah, that's kind of, or never locked. We did lock it when we left, which kind of, if people were to come and it doesn't open, and say, oh, there's nobody home. We can rob that place today, now, right? Yes? Yeah, okay. But if it opens, oh, no, they're home. Oh, let's close it. Okay, I'm just saying. And, yeah, anyway. I think that all through my life, one thing that I have to say I'm very proud of is when challenges came my way or things just didn't, hey, this was supposed to work out that way. It says so in the instructions, right? Even about life, right? Well, one forgets that you're not, if you're living with other people, even when you're a married couple, with your children and you raise them, and of course you're going to do the best that you can, right? Oh, they're not going to get into this or into that. I'm going to make sure. Yeah? Well, okay. And then you realize, oh, why did that not work out? It's supposed to work out if I did my part, right? Yes. But the thing is that when there's other people involved, guess what? They all have free will. They make their own choices, even children. Yes? And so it's got this, oh, okay, today went good. Huh? Next day, what happened here? Why didn't it go as good as yesterday? But there's one thing in my life I'm very proud of, which I already said, is when challenges came along like that, where I had to say, wow, big change. How am I going to do this? I just find a way. I would find a way. And I would find a way, try to find a way in the right way. In a way that, no, I was never one that liked revenge. Or, oh, I'm going to pay you back. Or you treated me like this, I'm going to treat you like that. I've never been like this. I don't do that, and I've never been like that. What I do though, is test people. Well, okay, all right. Just, it's kind of one of those things that I do, is test them. Okay, you just said this, or you just did that. Let's see on how you're going to react when I do this, or say that. Okay, different situations, right? Yes? Yeah. I can ask a person, or they say, oh, I'll come and help you in the barn. I don't need help in the barn, really. Most of the time, not. I need some help holding up Bo to clean out his hoofs, which I'm not doing anymore because there's 2 people got hurt now because you can't lift his foot without him just about wanting to topple over. He's so old. He's 41 now. 41 years old. A big old horse. And he's just a little unstable now. And he doesn't like it. And he figured out that if he starts to lean towards you, that you will let go. So there has to be more than one person doing that. But otherwise, most everything over at the barn, one person does just fine. So when people say, oh, you want some help in the barn? I say, yeah, okay. I don't really need it, but come on. Yeah, they keep offering. I said, yeah, come on. I want to see. Are you really that interested in helping? Right? They'll come. They'll help out that one time. Right? Yes. And then I'll see if the next day they're offering again. Right? Yes. It is not. It's nice to have another person over there to do the barn with. And, don't get me wrong. It goes much faster. You have someone to talk to. All right, I talk to the animals. Okay. Oftentimes, I find, this is just an example, though that happened, then they won't ask, hey, do you want help over in the barn? If they really, really mean it, if they're really honest and sincere about it, they will just put their boots on again in the morning and say, hey, I'm coming back over there with you. Right? Yes? But if not, they'll never say again, hey, do you need help over there? You want me to come and help you? Yeah. Are you getting my drift? Okay. With many things, it's like that. Right? Yes? Out there. People offer their help. When it comes down to it, though, the stance is not there. Right? Or people pull back. Close up all the doors and the windows. Most people would be afraid, scared to leave their doors open at night. Wouldn't it? Then you go, hey, REM sleep, you're out, you're gone. Even me, yep. Though, odd way, I always wake up to the emergencies, if there is one. It's very rare here. And would feel more safe and secure with all the doors and windows locked, right? Yes? For me, it's the other way around. When everything is locked in, locked windows, I'm going, how am I going to breathe until morning time without some air in this house? Right? How can I let good things into this house? Yes? Open my home. Jesus doesn't have to knock on my door. He just walks in and out as he wants to. Just saying, metaphorically. How's that in your life? Yeah, just asking. I've met an amazing amount of people in my life, and they're amazing. They have amazing talents and gifts. But I also found that when things start to happen that are not so great in their life, the lamenting starts. And rather than, hey, you have this great gift. You can talk to the people, explain things to the people, right? You sing, yeah? Beautiful voice. I found that making it through challenges in my life, sometimes very, very difficult ones, is to find something again, find back to it, or even more so invest yourself into something you love and are happy with. That gives you purpose in life. So that then when you have other things in your surroundings that need taken care of, you find also, it ripples out. And suddenly something that seems hard becomes what? Not necessary. It's necessary. But things that are necessary doesn't mean that they have to be hard. They can be approached and walked through with happiness. Yes, I can do this. Do you know what I mean? And find enjoyment in that. Especially when it comes to what? Raising children. You've got to find enjoyment in that. All the time. Because if you don't, guess who will know that you don't? Just saying. Right? Yes? Okay. So, I thought about this morning, 2 days in a row where now, okay, had the door open. One day all by myself, nobody else. And I slept like a baby. Yes? And then it was almost as if, oh, Sissy's good with it. So what, I could gift this today? How is your home? Is your home just heated with air coming out of the air ducts, and then cool air? And the windows, the doors are always closed? Or do you open, turn off everything and open the windows and the doors and let what in? It depends on where you live. As I said, I did that in the city too. Anyway. Have an open door. I think in the way that we live often reflects also what we have in our surroundings, what we need to get. This reflects a bit about ourselves. Oh, is that bad? No, it teaches us. Oh, what do I need to work on in all this? Yes? I think a lot of negative things happen behind closed doors because everybody has their doors closed and no one can hear a thing. Doesn't see a thing. Don't know what's going on behind closed doors. The doors are open. Guess what? Don't you think one lives a more honest life that way? What does that tell you about a person whose door is always open? Anyway, that's what I wanted to start out with. Oh, and I picked up another Bible, and it must have had something around it. It's the Holy Bible. It looks like, look, this. I save Bibles from all kinds of places. I just do. It's like other people collect stuffed animals, right? When I go to a thrift store or something, and I see a Bible just there, okay, I won't take all of them. I'll leave maybe one or two, or I'll at least walk out with one of them, right? And save one of them. Save. I don't know. I have a lot of people come here, and every so often, someone wants a Bible, someone wants a divine principle. You used to get the divine principle for a penny. Yeah. on Amazon. A penny plus shipping and handling. So for $4 rather than what, $20 or something that they usually are. Oh gosh, depending on what edition it is now. And then suddenly, right? So I went and I looked everywhere where they were, and I got every one of them. Yeah. I've only about 4 of them left now out of, gosh, I must have had 10, 12, right? Okay. At one time there. And now you can't find them for that anymore. I haven't looked anymore in a long time. I don't have an Amazon account anymore. I canceled everything. I don't need that. Decided I don't need any of that. But I still look in the bookstores, right? But now, like the Divine Principle is way more expensive now. Man, if I were to find that anywhere here in a bookstore, whoa. Ooh, now I got to go and look. Or in a secondhand store. But I collect Bibles as well. So this is another one. It's leather bound, and it's got the gold, look, the gold sheen on it. And see all the chaptery stuff. Isn't that cool? Huh? Yes? All right. Anyway, and it's the King James Version. Not my favorite one, but this is what I had. I came downstairs and I forgot both Bibles upstairs. And I'm going, well, the one I can't read out of right now because it's missing these chapters, right? And I thought, hey, maybe that means I got to read out of another Bible this time, right? Yes? Well, hey, my door's open to all different types of Bibles. Oh my gosh, where am I going with this? Spirit world, just happiness has no bounds. Wow, that's something. Happiness has no bounds. That's what spirit world just, huh? When I said, oh my gosh, where am I going to go with all this? Happiness has no bounds. None. You decide. If the doors and the windows are open, that you lay down your timidness. Your angst, anxieties, all that. That's up to you to lay that down. And do what? Open the windows and the doors to your life. Then happiness has no bounds. And you'll be all right. You'll always be all right. And you'll be so good for people out there. Okay, all right. Then I'll get going. I know. You guys started it. You had to say that. Then I had to say something to it. Yes, you should know better. But it's a good one. So I'm getting going. David prepares to build the temple. Oh, now we have titles again here. David prepares to build the temple. That's the first book of Chronicles 22. Then David said, this is the house of the Lord, and this is the altar of burnt offering for Israel. So David commanded to gather the aliens. They had the word aliens. Who, just like yesterday with the $sign, right? Okay. All right. Aliens who were in the land of Israel, and he appointed masons to cut hewn stones to build the house of God. Oh. You guys hear this? I think we all know what the aliens were. Of course we do. I just wonder about the word. Who were in the land of Israel. It's such a nice way to put that, right? Rather than, then he gathered up all the slaves. Okay. And David prepared iron in abundance for the nails of the doors of the gates and for the joints, and bronze in abundance beyond measure. Oh, so yesterday we read about that sin. I went and looked it up, and sure enough, it had to do with that in the way it was done. And see, it doesn't tell us exactly on what was actually done. We're just being told, oh, the senses and that was a sin, and then Joab comes up with, okay, 1,100,000 military. Oh, okay, so it has a little something to do with army and more fighting, though. Oh, wait a minute. So the sin is that David acquired more power, royal power and military power. What does God care about that? Anybody want to tell me? I think what it does clearly tell us, though, that no, God is not for war. That is not in God's plan. Anywhere, anytime. Done. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. God does not change. God's just, I am who I am. That is God. So the sin was what? Greed, power, money. Okay. Instead of what? Okay. Instead of what? I don't think we have that figured out yet either here. Now, thousands of years later. Right? Yes? Okay. But that's what it had to do with that. And we went, well, why was that suddenly a sin? It wasn't before. God gets just mad occasionally at the same thing with certain people, and other people it doesn't matter. Okay, all right. As I say, the kind of God that people have invented here in the Old Testament or whatever, I'm not getting. Who are you talking about? There must be another God out there, which doesn't exist, of course, but supposedly it's okay. Just saying. Uh-huh. Man, my doors and windows wide open, eh? Yeah, okay. Well, let's keep going here. So now, David, I had to say this. Now here David goes, oh, I got to build that temple now. What did God tell him? I don't need that. But here his guilt. Okay, has anybody communicated with God at all? Well, supposedly they have. We're reading about it. But then what are they doing every time? So he's guilt-ridden about what? Not getting it. Famines and plagues and all that. You know how that happens? Go read up in history and see why they happen. Nothing to do with God. God didn't send these plagues, this or that, or the famine. It's not true. There's only one reason why famines and sicknesses like that, this and that, it's always man's doing. Always. So what? That time. You want to be, well, as I said, it's such a two-sided sword here. Oh, you want to be superstitious about God, because if you don't do this or that, then Yet, you're not doing it anyway. Okay, here in the Bible, I'm talking to David. Here, you're doing whatever you want anyway, because you're not really scared of God or this or that. You don't really believe. You're not scared. Because who knows if there is a God, really. But the people believe. How to control the people. Now you have to make up stuff. Yes? Oh, yeah. That's what I see happening here. So sad. So sad to see how God is misrepresented. On how it's flip-floppy way, and the flip-floppy way it is written down, where, oh, God's so merciful, this and that, right? To whom? Oh, just David, Otherwise, he'll kill off people in the plague for something they didn't do. Well, they're forced to. Okay, all right. And then, here's God, Why is David building this temple, truly? Huh? Okay. Just saying. Hey, look, you're not going to get away from me. And cedar trees in abundance, for the Sidonians and those from Tyre brought much cedar wood to David. Yeah, we already know all that. Now David said, Solomon, my son, is young and inexperienced, and the house to be built for the Lord must be exceedingly magnificent, famous, and glorious throughout all countries, God said he didn't want that. Here again, God didn't want a king. Then here comes the king. Says, oh, I'm going to build you a temple. Right, to what? To feel better yourself? Okay. God says, oh, I don't want that. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm like it a big, magnificent, and glorious throughout all countries. Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear? Glorious throughout all countries. What does that mean? What did I just say beforehand? The people. Oh. How do you control the people? I will now make preparation for it. This is again one of those things. David, it's a show. It's a show again. It's just a show again. Build a big old temple. And make deals with everyone around you. Not within the Israelites. With everybody outside. Make some kind of a deal where then they get the wood and this and that. Like, right? You getting this? I will now make preparation for it. So David made abundant preparations before his death. But Solomon, see, now David said, where does this come in? Solomon, from what we've read before, was only appointed after he was already on his deathbed. And Solomon's mother came. But here it sounds like, okay, well, I'm just saying, I don't know, it doesn't tell us. But we can read between the lines. Then he called for his son Solomon and charged him to build a house for the Lord God of Israel. Yes, we already read about this too. And I said, oh, look, now his son has to take over, right? Yeah. Have someone else do it for you. Something you're not supposed to be doing. God doesn't want. Okay. Well, we all know where Solomon ended up. That must be difficult. And Solomon obviously wasn't taught right either. And David said to Solomon, son, as for me, it was in my mind to build a house, to the name of the Lord my God. But the word of the Lord came to me, saying, you have shed much blood and have made great wars. You shall not build a house for my name, because you have shed much blood on the earth in my sight. Oh, there you go. Behold, a son shall be born to you who shall be a man of rest, and I will give him rest from all his enemies all around. His name shall be Solomon, for I will give peace and quietness to Israel in his days. He shall build a house for my name, and he shall be my son, and I will be his father, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom over Israel forever. All right. We already know how this went a little later on. And I find it interesting on how instead of David, who, I don't know, has he learned his lesson or not? It doesn't seem like it, right? He keeps right on going until his death, right? And then he pulls his son into it in a very interesting way. What I haven't found here yet is absolute repentance, absolute humility. Before God. To say, okay, I still have some time to teach my son not to do what I did. So that my line kind of can continue what? Being royal, which is also not. Again, the excuse is being made on how God is being pulled in. Right? Oh, you know what? I couldn't do that for David. But I'm going to do it for Solomon. That's what God says. Oh, well, that's because, no. Solomon is raised by whom? Just saying. Yeah? Really? You know, they say lies upon lies upon lies upon lies, eventually it all crumbles down. And you found out people are really good at lying. It's amazing. And then even when they're found out, what are you going to do? Hey, you just lied. Oh, I do that. You just lied. I didn't. Yeah, you did. How? Well, wouldn't you want me to tell you? You don't know. People don't know when they're lying? Come on now. You build excuse upon excuse upon excuse upon excuse. And it's the same thing. I'm proud of myself for having walked through great challenges with a clear conscience. But this is pride of the worst kind. Now, my son, may the Lord be with you, and may you prosper and build the house of the Lord your God as he has said to you. Only may the Lord give you wisdom and understanding and give you charge concerning Israel, that you may keep the law of the Lord your God. Here is the thing. Again, David tells Solomon, here, God's going to tell you what to do, and you're going to do that, and the law of God, and that's going to be, right? Who's the father of Solomon? Then you will prosper if you take care to fulfill the statutes and judgments with which the Lord charged Moses concerning Israel. Be strong and of good courage, do not fear nor be dismayed. Indeed, I have taken much trouble to prepare for the house of the Lord 100,000 talents of gold and 1,000,000 talents of silver and bronze and iron, beyond measure, for it is so abundant. I have prepared timber and stone also, and you may add to them. So David tells Solomon that, hey, I prepped all this stuff, all this good stuff, all this material stuff. So you just need to continue on that. What does that tell Solomon? Oh, God doesn't know what to do with all that. What's he going to do with all that silver and gold and that temple and this and that? What does God need from us in order to be able to give to us? What is Solomon being taught here? But Solomon will understand that, to build this temple, this and that, and follow my Father, not in heaven, on earth, will, he promised that will be, I'll prosper. My people will prosper. He will prosper. He will definitely prosper, didn't he? How many concubines and wives did he have? Okay. Are you guys getting this? And what, as I said, how is David setting up his own son? What, so it sounds good here in the Bible? So I'm against David? No, I'm not against David. But David needs restoration. And restoration doesn't start by, he was such a good guy. He was he did everything. Oh, yeah, No. We're going to have to take down that mountain of excuses and lies and get back down to the origin of David. Look at there. Let's see. Moreover, there are workmen with you in abundance, woodsmen and stone cutters, and all types of skillful men for every kind of work. Of gold and silver and bronze and iron there is no limit. Arise and begin working, and the Lord be with you. No witnessing to the people, no teaching the people, really. This is all about just building a temple now. Well, and then, of course, Solomon has to build more on, because where do you house all them women and kids, right? Okay, no time to really take care of the land and the people. I can see this already. David set him up. Interesting. I don't even want to think that way, David. Look, I hope not. It's okay. We're working on this as well. Ooh. You know, the interesting thing to me is that every time I read about David, and every time I read about David and come across this, my gosh, what did you actually do? Look at you. My goodness. Can you be even more crafty or scheming? And I never see a grown man. I always see a boy of about 12 or 13. I always see a boy that hasn't been able to grow up yet and really, truly work for God. Interesting? Huh? I mean, I see. Not saying, it's every time. I see the figure of a boy. In my mind's eye, spirit world, there's a figure of a boy named David. Still hasn't had a chance to grow up. Spiritually. David also commanded all the leaders of Israel to help Solomon his son, saying, "Is not the Lord your God with you?" He's asking. He's not telling her. He's not saying, God is with you. Help him. Oh, isn't God with you? Shouldn't you know to help my son? They should be teaching Solomon. Right? They should all know, man, we got to do something here. Okay? Oh, which brings me to another thing, if I remember it when we're done here. And has he not given you rest on every side? For he has given the inhabitants of the land into my hand. And the land is subdued before the Lord and before his people. Wow, that's an interesting one. That's like a threat. Now set your heart and your soul to seek the Lord your God. Therefore arise and build the sanctuary of the Lord God, to bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord and the holy articles of God into the house that is to be built for the name of the Lord. Okay, that's it for that one. Eek. All right, you have to stay down here now. I can't have every Bible upstairs. Oh, you're right. I do have most of them up there. I had this one down here. I have another one down here. You have 3 more down here. That's right. Okay. This will go well with this. Open doors and windows. Open doors and windows. You will also, when called, be there to discipline someone, to save someone. Okay, this and that. Goes lots of stuff that goes with that. Help someone. So there are some things out there, and people will find it if they look for the negative, that aren't so, how do you say, they're not pretty. They're actually quite disturbing. And there are some of the children of true parents. One of them is one of the sons, who, now he's interesting. Kind of like David. Okay. He's working for the unification of South and North Korea. I haven't heard anything from this guy in a long time. I don't know if what he's doing. I know that True Parents are working very, very much on that. There's a lot of things going on there, and I believe that. I believe that will work, okay? See, people are working together, okay? So if this guy's about writing books, some here, some there, I'm not sure what else he does, okay? But there's a video out when he's younger where he is with a group of members, and he's literally kicking one of them and slapping one of them. And there are a lot of other people in that room while he's doing that. And they're not doing anything. Nobody steps in and says, hey, you don't get to do that. Don't do that. Don't do that to another human being. It doesn't matter. This is obviously, they're God's people there. And one of the sons comes and, I don't know, gives him a talking to, and then gets mad. I don't know. It's kind of, the video's just there. I've seen the video many, many years ago and thought it was just as disturbing. I thought, man, if I come across you. But everybody just stood there and didn't do anything. They let a true child, that's what we call them, true children of the true family. They let a true child abuse another human being. Because he can? What? What is there to be afraid of? All them people in there to step in and go, hey, listen, you better stop this. Huh? I'm going to give you a spanking. You don't do that. You want to feel how that feels right now? I'm just saying. Huh? But nobody did anything. Everybody just watched. Which means to me, there's no unity in that room. There was each for himself, right? All the windows and doors were closed to what? Righteousness, justice. Yes? That's very sad. Well, it's easy for you to say, no. We were preparing for I'll tell you the whole story. We were preparing for a prayer breakfast, and lots of people, a couple hundred people, between 100 and a couple hundred people would show up every time, just depended, right? So you had to prep a lot of food, and I would be there with, again, wonderful people. One of them was Nancy. We did so many things together when it came to volunteering, this and that. Yes. Our children were about the same age. See, we couldn't just go off without our children. Though for the prayer breakfast we did. But they played so well together, so a lot of things that her and I volunteered for in the church, and our children keep themselves entertained together. Of course, being there and us watching them too, but yeah. But the prayer breakfast was so early in the morning. Yes, our husbands took care of the children. Yeah, and afterwards we would go and have donuts and coffee. We'd go to this one donut shop, and we'd oh no, that was not for the prayer breakfast. Or was it? No. That was when we did oh my gosh, we did that too. When we did went to the Holy Ground in Oakland. Yes. Oh my gosh, early, 5 o'clock in the morning, and singing this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Old times. Nancy. What we all did, right? Yes. Oh, for what? Peace on earth. Oh. Still doing it. I know you are too. Prayer breakfast. And I walk out of the kitchen into the dining room, which is pretty big, and there is our the sweetest secretary at the church that you can't imagine. She was so sweet, this, that. And here is that regional director, Korean, talking to her like she was a dog or something. Oh. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't misread the situation here, and I walked up behind him and I listened. And then I had enough. I tapped him on the shoulder. Said, hey. And he looks around. I mean, he was bending down. She's really small. He was bending down right in her face. That's what everybody looked like. Yeah. So I came up behind him and went, hey. And he turns like this and I said, hey, be nice. What are you doing? There's no need to talk to her like that. Oh. You know what? There were other people. There were a whole bunch of people there. They all saw it. Nobody did anything. Here I come out of the kitchen. I'm going, the hell's he doing? With our wonderful, sweet secretary. Huh? Over what? Some stupid little thing. What, did he get out of the bed on the wrong side of the bed and he needed to go and yip yap at the weakest person he could find? I always think, why don't you guys come to me? Huh? Try that with me. Anyway. All right. How about Hyunjinim? Not Hyunjinim, okay? Their names are all really the same. Yeah? But that one true child, I'd like to see you kick me. Or Hyunjinim. I'm just saying, okay? We all go through things, this and that. We come across certain things, and we do certain things. But as people, as righteous people who believe in justice, who have a mouth, who can step in with a body and say, hey, no, you're not going to do this. It takes one person to do so to stop someone from abusing someone else. One person. I'm just saying. Yes. Anyway, so I look for money, and he turns around and he bows to me. Oh, I'm sorry. I said, why are you bowing to me? I said, say sorry to her. Weird one, right? Anyway, so okay. Then I said, okay, go on. Talk to her what she needs to do and what you're not happy with in an appropriate way. Turned out to be some stupid little thing. As I said, what? Did you get out of the wrong side of the bed and you need to take it out on someone because you could? Because you can? Because you got people around you? Because of your station and your power and your whatever? You can do whatever? And no one will say anything? Well, not around me. You're not going to do that. Anyway. Oh, you think that was the end of it? Again, him bowing, oh, I'm sorry, wasn't honest. There was no sincerity with that. He did not realize he did anything wrong and thought about it and then I doubt he properly apologized to her either, or with sincerity if he did, because this is what he did afterwards. So here we are. We've already have all kinds of, okay, people were watching. We had 2 huge tables set up with food, this and that, and it was all ready to go. It was 20 minutes before the people would arrive for the breakfast. He comes over, and I'm standing right there between the tables looking, okay, this has to come out so it doesn't get too cold, doesn't need to say that. All right, I was the chef in there, okay. So he comes up, and he looks, and he says, no good. No good what? I said. Everything needs to be different. This needs to be different. This needs to be... And first of all, I'm going, what needs to be different? I'm not getting. What do you want? I said, it's 20 minutes before the breakfast. What's not right with the table setting here? This is not my first rodeo with it, okay? And I realized immediately, oh, looky here. What are we doing here now? A little power play? Huh? So I said to him, this is what I said, you know what? I got you. I'm not aware of, or well, neither was I told or shown any kind of plan on how, while you're here for this one breakfast, how you want the food laid out. But I tell you this, since you're going to be here for a while, and probably for the next prayer breakfast, I said, you can get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, or 4 o'clock, which Nancy and I did, to be here at 5 o'clock and start cooking with us. Then you can set everything up out here the way you want to. But as for right now, this is not going to change. We don't have time for that. It would have created chaos, absolute chaos. And who do you think would have been blamed for that? You know what he did? Oh, there were again bunch of people standing around. I don't need anybody to defend me. I know how to defend myself when it comes to things like that. Yeah. Yes. And I could tell on our pastor's face, I could tell, oh man, I should have warned this guy not to pick anything, not to pick a bone with this one. Well, anyway, he's like, oh, no. It's all good. Yes. Ooh, bows again. I'm going, man, I tell you what. He did that to himself. You realize what he did? He did that to himself. I could have just, oh yeah, scurried around like a little squirrel now. Oh my God, guys, we have to change everything. And he would have had what? His power play. Here I am. I'm not just saying, I'm not going to do that. Are you nuts? I'm telling him why I'm not doing it. And I'm giving him a solution on how he can have it his way the next time. Yeah. Oh, no. You think that was it? Look. With certain people, when you are not in the hierarchy, somewhere, in the middle to the top, but you're one of the lower ones, okay? The ones up there, when a lower one says, hey, I don't have no problem to stay down here in the lower ranks. I'm just fine with that, but you're not going to abuse me. They don't like that. Because you know what? That says what? You can't be controlled. Why do I have to be controlled if I'm doing the right thing? Just asking. Why do I have to be put in my place if I'm already there and I'm doing the right thing? Just asking. Okay. Oh, you think that's it? That was it? Get a phone call. From Mrs. Durst. I love her. There is nobody can say anything to me about her. That woman is a powerhouse. That woman will tell you. And you know what? You can tell that woman back and she'll tell you right back. And you can have a good old fight with her. I did. And you're not mad at each other afterwards. Yes. See? Yeah. That's not a power play. That is a, hey, you want to see it? You want me to see it your way? Well, how about my way? What? Who says my way isn't right? Just your way is right? What? Okay. In any case, Mrs. Durst gives me a phone call. I had the best time with her. By the way, she didn't like her kimchi too spicy, or fermented rather. Right? She didn't like her. Oh hey Gus, her kimchi too spicy or fermented. Yeah? So here, I'm feeling a little guilty making my own kimchi. I'm coming, guys. Not so Korean-like, right? And she makes it the same way, or she has it the same way as I do. I got to let the dogs in. I'll be right back. Enjoy the view. Mrs. Durst, God love her. I so love her. Oh. Okay. I just have to tell the story. As I said, people like to talk and tell others what to do, like David telling Solomon now, right? But don't do it themselves. Right? You're just telling others, well, this is what you need to do. Well, if you were to come across a situation like that, would you? Or would you watch a guy getting kicked for no more reason than what? I don't even know what the reason was, but I know that was not a bad guy sitting there on the floor getting kicked. Okay, what could he have done? I'm just saying. Anywho, so back to my story. Mrs. Durst, as I said, don't tell me anything negative about her. I love that woman. That's an amazing woman, worked for God for a long time, and true parents. And, yep. You don't have to like her temperament. But you should appreciate and honor what this woman all has done for God. True parents. For us, God's people. Just saying. Oh yeah, and she lives in a really nice house. Well, anyway. She has a great husband too. Yep. So, love the Durst. Okay, so. Daniela. Yeah? All those regional leaders, plus all them other leaders coming in from who knows where, Koreans, all Koreans, yeah, they want to come, they're going to come to your house and eat. What? What? I said, they are. Yep. Okay, well, when do they want to come? And I think it was a Saturday, either a Friday night or a Saturday night. I can't remember now. And all right, I'll work out. So what do they want to eat? They want to eat an American meal. I said, Mrs. Durst, you do realize I'm not an American, right? I said, I'm Swiss. Oh, she says, so, yeah. Anyway, I said, don't worry. I said, I'll fix them something. So I fixed some chicken and mashed potato. I make good mashed potatoes. Chicken, mashed potato. Chicken was cheap, right? Of course, I had to pay for it all, right? We had to pay for it all. I had a family, 4 children, yeah. I mean, we had a mortgage and one income, more or less. Yeah, I always worked a little. And I said, we weren't rich people or anything, okay, who could put on this lavish meal. But I'm good with putting on a lavish meal that costs very little. I thought, oh yeah, I can do this. Anyway, so I put on the meal. Chicken was cheap. Potatoes are cheap too. Mashed potatoes. Yeah, I make a lot of mashed potatoes. And I made some vegetable to go with it. I can't remember what that was. But I remember the chicken and the mashed potatoes. And I think I made cheesecake for dessert or something. Which is also cheap to make. Let's see. Well, anyway, so they all come, okay? And my husband and kids are all there, you know, and so they go out in the backyard, and I kind of ask the kids some questions, and we have like a little appetizers out there, which, what were they now? Chips and salsa? I can't remember. And a little something to drink. And they find out that the kids play music. So I say, or one says, they all play music. And they're all going, oh. They want to hear them play. So the kids went and got their fiddles out, Paul his guitar, and they played some, and they loved it. So we go back in, and they sit down, and of course, they're all just sitting down. It's not like Paul and I and the kids also are sitting at the table eating with them. Well, there were so many of them. I don't know, 10 or 12. They kind of took up the whole table anyway, right? So I was like, oh, look, I was going, oh, and that other one was there too. And I looked at this whole thing and, okay, you know, and kind of realized that, oh, is this another way of? But the thing is, I love serving people. I love to see people happy when they eat my food or are in my home. So to me, even if I was not invited to sit down and eat, that didn't matter. That did not matter to me. Of course, I noticed it. Am I stupid or ignorant? But the thing I thought, well, you guys don't realize that actually I'm really happy to have you all here. Because I know that all of these people were relatively close to true parents. So who did I have there with me in the house? Oh, I have no doubt that father would have said, hey, sit down here. You just cooked this and that. Your legs must be tired. Maybe not. Maybe mother would have said that. All right. Anyway, then after the meal, I thought, well, surely they'll get up and leave, right? I mean, there we go. Done, over with, and I was used as a servant, so okay. What else? What else do they want? Kind of. Right? I started singing karaoke. Or, yeah, it was kind of like karaoke. Oh my gosh, they were you would have thought that they had a whole bunch of soju or something. I'm not kidding. But they didn't. There was nothing alcoholic there. Okay? We had nothing alcoholic in the house. There's no And but you thought after they had eaten and all that, and they'd just talk and talk and talk. And then one of them they leaned back and you're all kind of, kind of this, just, they're all nice and satisfied. That's good to see. Happy. You could tell they were so happy. And one of them started singing. Oh, they're not quiet when they sing. Oh, man. And this was in the city. We had a house right over here, a house over here. And I went outside. After a while, I went outside, and you could hear them sing probably over in the next block. Okay, not quite. Anyway, I went over to the neighbor, said, hey, I'm sorry, this is not going to take too long. I'm hoping this is not going to disturb you. But we have a little singing session going on at our house. There's no problems. Kind of sounds nice. It's okay. But I did. I went and let my neighbors know. Anyway, they hung around for I don't know how long. And eventually it was time to go. Oh, Mrs. Durst and Dr. Durst were there too, by the way. It was time to go. And I said, they had such a good time. And they walked out. And that one guy, that regional leader, right, who was trying to teach me still a lesson, comes up to me and shakes my hand. And this time he bowed sincerely. He said, thank you. The other ones shook my hand as well. Didn't bow though, but they shook my hands. Yeah, shook my hand. As far as I know, that guy was very, very much liked after that. Most likely because he adjusted his behavior around people. Anyway, that's the whole story. I don't just talk the talk. I walk the talk. So yes, I'm entitled to tell you all out there, if you were around the true children and they were abusing someone, cussing and cursing and I don't know what, and you didn't do anything, you're just as guilty. It's called a collective sin. What a sad stuff that happened. Still happening. And now, of course, these videos will be used for what? Yes? Yeah. Well done. Because you don't have the story on how that was rectified. In the video, it doesn't show how someone stepped in front of that guy and said, you need to stop this. What you're doing is wrong. Just saying. Okay, well, there it is. Yeah. Best thing is to teach through our own experiences. Yes, and then we have the examples out there that, sadly do exist, that will be held against us, will be held against true parents, will be held against God and His will and desire for mankind, which is to become His people, God's people, absolutely through the blessing. Sadly, things like this now, videos like that, will be held against. Everyone who's working so hard, has been working, has been challenged, has overcome. Damage control. Yes. It's very sad. But, hey. So be it. We keep on going, right? Yes? Marching on, heavenly soldiers. Marching on with your love. Right? I think that's what it says. There. Become a heavenly soldier. Yes? Don't be afraid. Keep them doors and windows open. Right? Yes? Your heart doesn't break that easily. Right? Yes? Don't let everything get to you so easily. Right? You never know. Never know what comes your way. Right? These guys ate. They had a big long run. And they're happy. They're going to be... Except for Jake, who's already bringing me his stick. Okay. Got to go. Got to go to the barn now. Whoops. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you, and I will talk to you all another time.